Hi, I'm Colin and welcome to How to Paint Watercolors. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hello everyone and welcome back to Painting Watercolors with me, Colin. This is another one that's all about the sky. This will be a two-stage sky and this is just really to get you used to doing it. Just makes your skies more spectacular and more interesting. And I always say, make your skies interesting. Some of the colours we'll be using today are Naples Yellow, New Gamboge, Magenta, French Ultramarine and Burnt Umber. So with that, we'll get started. I want to put a glow in the sky right about here, but I want to leave some white to make it just a little bit brighter. And you can bring this into the sea, then into that, some of the New Gamboge, nice bright colours like an Indian yellow. If you haven't got these colours, use your own, make your own up. This is only a suggestion when all's said and done. Bring it in here. I'm doing a little bit of darker yellow in here, and if you go over the water with a violet, with yellow being opposite colour wheel, you'll end up with a nice grey. If you get it thin enough, the yellow will show through. Very simple. Touch up here as well, because I want some of this to stand out a little bit. And I'm going to take some of that Gamboge with some Magenta. It'll sort of make it's almost like a quinacridone gold colour, but it's almost like a murky orange. So bring this up here. So bring some just in here, just helps darken things and pull your eye in slightly. I have stretched the paper, both sides, just means wetting it on some French Ultramarine, some Magenta, just to be quite pink. There we go, a little bit of water on it. Just taking some pure Magenta into this and just wiggling it in. We'll take some clouds out of this in a minute with some kitchen towel, but I don't want to take it out when it's too wet. So I'm just stroking some of this in the sea. It's all good. French Ultramarine into that, and I'm using the Magenta just to darken it slightly. I want to bring this in as well. You can drop a little bit of blue into the yellow, but just drop it, don't play with it, otherwise you'll end up with the green. Just darken out with a touch of Burnt Umber. Then I'm going to leave this to dry for a few minutes, and I'm going to take a kitchen towel and we're just going to wipe out some clouds and then we'll glaze over it. Okay, I'll give that about 10 minutes, which allows the paint to drop through the water and onto the paper. And I just want to remove some of it, just to create some really nice patches. Once that's reasonably dry, I'm going to take some clean water right from the centre where the sun's shining through. I'm just bringing it out in a circle, few strokes as possible. I want to keep this bright, so I don't want the glaze to go too far into this in the sea. I want it to come down here, to be strong up here, get weaker as it comes down here. So I'm just going to take some Magenta, a tiny bit of French Ultramarine into that. That looks okay. And I'm just going to let this down with some water, keeping the same colour, just roughly what I want it. I'll pick up some of this and I'm going to bring this in. Bring it in over the yellow. see. Now we can strengthen it up. Some burnt umber into that. Try not to play with it too much. Just dropping a little extra colour in around here. I'll drop some in around this side just to deepen it. Your kitchen towel once again, and just take out some of the light patches. And then I'm going to leave that to dry. Now that part of your sky is dry, and you can see all the little nuances, lights and dark patches underneath with the magenta over the top. I'm going to put some new gamboge in here. I want to put a cloud in, but I want these to be quite weak. I'm just changing that colour just to, that looks about right. Plenty of water. I want to bring some clouds from under here. I'm just wiggling these in. Just helps to add a little bit more to it and helps break up the sun just a little bit shining through. I'm just using the tip of the brush and I'm just wiggling it. I'll take a little bit of water at the end of the brush and I want to soften the bottom edge off. Then I want to take some of this purple and I'm going to really let it down and drop some of the burnt umber. And I want this to be thin because I'm going to glaze over the sea. I want some of the yellow colour to show through. Just taking a little out, just allowing that to show all the way. Over here it can be quite dark. You see how that yellow shows through? French ultramarine again with some magenta. Once again the burnt umber. I'm adding no water to it this time. And along the bottom I'm going to deepen it, allowing it to come lighter over here. And that's about all I want to put in for that. And then you're going to let that dry. I've just set the board at an angle so it's easier to work on really, and I'm going to take a little bit of this, I'm going to water it down. There is an oil rig here, I wasn't going to put it in but I think I'll just do it. And what I want to do is just put it in with a few strokes of the brush. This is watery because I don't want it strong. You see how your eye fills that in? Then I want to take some of that same colour and I just want to put a little bit of movement into some of this. So with that, I am going to let that dry. When we come back, I'll have put all the top part of this in with the paintbrush because it will take some time, but you're just following in between the lines. That is all you're going to do. Welcome back. That took me some time to put that in, but I think you get the general idea. And we'll move on to the bulk of this oil rig. French ultramarine, burnt umber mixed to almost a black with some of the magenta added into it. Then we can begin to just almost block the rest of this end. I do want to do something with this side. like I said, this is not a technical drawing, it's a representation. Maybe on here I just want to lift just a little bit of paint out on the side, just to allow a little bit of colour, underneath colour to show through. Not much, just a little bit. But do mix up plenty of this colour, you will need it. Bring it up to about there. And I want to put some clean water in here. Do some of the paint again. You want to pull this towards the water, let it hit the water and creep across. And at the same time, I'm going to take some fresh water and just bring it across here, all the way across. And so just start to pull this across. And just show a little bit of light striking this side. And then I want to pull this into the sea, anywhere where the legs is, or the legs are, should I say. Just pull it in. There's a shadow will be created under here anyway. A reflection, a very dark reflection. You may want to darken this side. Take some water and just allow this edge to creep up. Really want this to be dark. Contrast between here and here. And then I'm just going to let that dry. We're very nearly there now. I just need to bring some of this French ultramarine burnt umber with some magenta in it, and I'm just going to drop it in there because I want to darken up some of this so it's not all split into two as it looks like it is. So I'm going to bring some in and just start to darken some up, just to bring this all basically together so it doesn't look like it's been split in half. I'm just using the tip of a flat brush for this, it's very simple. And then I can take a brush and just soften some of the top edges out on this just to bring it together. Leaving a nice light patch. So it's a bit calm and flat, so we can just add a few more bits and pieces. Will fade into that dark very nicely. You'll hardly see it, so we'll bring it all together. And I think we've probably just put a couple of birds in, maybe three. Okay, 3 are better than 2. Odd numbers seem to work very well. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, please show your appreciation, click the like button and subscribe, and please feel free to leave a comment. All comments are welcome. I'll leave a few suggestions at the end of this video for other videos I made for YouTube, and with that I will see you next time. Thank you very much.